Hi, in today's video I'm going to take a look at how you can copy a URL from an org mode link. What I'll first of all do is toggle the display of the links. So if I run org toggle display, org toggle link display, I think it is. Okay, so what you'll see is the makeup of an org link. It starts with two brackets, then the URL, and then the description. So you can see here we've got the actual URL and then we've got the description. And if I toggle the links back, org toggle link display, you'll see how they look. Now you can open these links in your default browser, but there's occasions you might want to actually copy the link. And I'll show you what the issue is. If I just yank this link using YY and then come across to the browser and paste it in, you'll see what it's actually doing is pasting the entire org link, the 2 stars, the brackets, and the description and the tag, and that's obviously no good. So what we want to be able to do is actually copy the links from inside these org mode links so that we can paste them into the browser or the terminal, as you might want to. So what I'll do is come across to the browser here, and I found this bit of code on the mailing list from a guy called S Fraga. And basically it's just this block of code here. So what I did was, if I come across to emacs again and open my emacs file and increase it, and then just scroll down to my org section here. I think it's a bit further down. Yeah, getting there. Okay, so this is the block of code here. Fset get link lambda optional arg keyboard macro interactive p, and basically what this does is it runs a series of keystrokes. Because what you can normally do is you can put your cursor over a link and then go insert link, press another couple of keys, and then it will show you the URL and you can yank it. But literally it's about half a dozen keyboard combinations you've got to type in. So basically what we do is we just put in this block of code and then we define the actual keyboard shortcut. So we've got define key org mode map XBD, and what we're doing is we're binding this to this keyboard shortcut. So that's Control C P, and that's going to run the get link function. So that's the whole block of code here. So if I just come across, and now what I can do is run Control C and P, and if I come back to the browser, it copies just the URL from that org link, which is exactly what I want, because as I said, you can open org links in your default browser, but there's occasions when you might want to open it in another browser or just copy the URL. So that's what this basically solves. And so this was the list, I found this chunk of code from S Fraga. That's the block of code. We put that in our emacs config file and created the binding. And now if I come across to any of these, copy the address. So I could open this in the browser, Control C, Control O, and that will open it in the browser. Okay, but I can also now run Control C P, and that will copy that directly. And of course we get the, before you continue to YouTube. And obviously, because I haven't signed into YouTube, it's kind of in this redirect loop. So if I was just to go to YouTube, and agree to the prompt. Okay. And now if I switch back to Emacs, I can Control C, Control O, and it will open the the link there. And again, I can also come across and copy the URL, control C, P, and then paste that in the browser like that, and it works perfectly. So again, the issue was if you just yank these links, so if I just yank one of these links and try and paste it in the browser, you see that's the problem. It copies the entire link. So basically what we wanted to do was org toggle link display, and you can see here basically what the link is. We've got the 2 stars, 2 brackets, then the link, another bracket, and the description. Okay, and funnily enough, there isn't actually a built-in way in Emacs that will actually allow you to extract the URL from an org link. So this bit of code is really useful because basically I can just basically come across and copy that link, put it in. So it just gives you a bit more flexibility because you might not always want to open it in your default browser. You might want to open it in another browser, and there isn't really a way to do that from within Emacs that I know of. And so this is a really useful addition that enables you to keep all your links in org mode documents and then either open them in the browser or basically copy the links. So if I just come back across to the Emacs file, I know it's a bit further down than this. So yeah, okay. So here it is, the block of code again. So fset get link, that's the name of the function. Lambda keyboard macro, and basically what it's doing is it's executing all these keyboard shortcuts one after another. So instead of typing Control C, Control L, Control A, Control K, Control G, which is a bit difficult to remember, you can basically create a new keyboard shortcut. It's basically a macro that just runs all of those keyboard shortcuts at once. And then basically what that will do is enable you to pull out the URL from inside a org link. So all you've got to do is put this bit of code in your Emacs file, and then you can do something like load file Emacs, and it will reload Emacs and pick up those changes. And then when you come into your org document, you can basically come across and hikmat ustad. Let me copy that link. I can copy that link. Your cursor has to be, I think your cursor actually got to be over the link here. It won't work if it's over the star. Okay, you can see there that's not working if it's actually on the star, so it's actually got to be over the link. And once you've done that, you can go Control C, P, and then that will basically copy the link perfectly. And so I've been following Hikmat Ustad's channel. He's got some good stuff that I covered about setting up Windows and Mac OS X in a KVM. And he's just released a new video called Cut the Crap ISO. And basically it's a video on how to remove a lot of stuff from Windows 11, like the TPM and secure boot requirements, and remove a lot of stuff like Edge and other stuff. I haven't actually tried it myself, but it might be worth a look if you want to create a slimmed down Windows ISO that you want to use in a virtual machine or install on some physical hardware. So that's the fix for Emacs and copying a URL from an org mode link. And again, this is the archive page on a list from S Fraga, and this is his chunk of code. And I said basically just put it in your Emacs, create the keyboard shortcut, and it will basically allow you to copy URLs from org mode links, which you can't do by default in Emacs. So it's really useful because it allows you a bit more flexibility in how you pull stuff out of org mode documents. You might not always want to open it in your default browser. I mean, I might want to, might have Chrome open, and I want to open one of these links in Chrome, and if I just run that, it's going to open Firefox because that's my default browser. So I can run Control-C, P, come across to another browser and put that in. So that's the fix, and that's where you got it. That's where I got it from. And again, the Emacs file, and basically that's the one there. Copy the last time. So put that bit of code in, and then down here define your keyboard shortcut, and say this is Control C and then P, but you can use whatever keyboard shortcut you want, and hopefully that will make using Emacs a bit more bearable. Not that it's not bearable, but it's just that sometimes there are things you can't do that aren't built in, and you've got to search for a bit of code to get it to work, and this does the job perfectly.